This is a battle in the Cup of Nations tournament Rome 2. I like to vary the videos I put out just for my own sake and for your sake. I know people enjoy Rome 2 videos and I enjoy watching them myself. Rome 2 has become something of a classic in my mind since I really started playing multiplayer with Rome 2. Not Rome 1, not Medieval, not Shogun. First game for multiplayer was Rome 2. So here we have it. We have ChaataiKhan versus Iraklis. Iraklis commanding Pontus. Arverni is a tough matchup for Pontus most days of the week. So here we have Celtic Warriors, Chosen Spears, Celtic Warriors, Chosen Spears, Chosen Swords, Spear Nobles, Celtic Warriors, Chosen Spears, Celtic Warriors, and Celtic Warriors. Now we do have a lot of these heavy horse. A bit of an odd choice, maybe. 6 heavy horse, Celtic Slingers here, and then Celtic light horse on the flanks. So for Pontus we have Mercenary Scythian Horse Archers, always nice to have those. Noble Bloods, always nice to have those. Mercenary Nakeds, always nice to have those. These guys are cheaper. It's a mistake made by CA, introduced in, I believe it was patch 16, that made them cheaper than they are supposed to be by 100. So in essence, you get a free unit of those if you bring 4, and Iraklis has done that, and that makes them a viable option for Pontus to kill enemy infantry, because Pontus has good cavalry, Pontus has good skirmish, Pontus does have trouble taking down a lot of enemy infantry. Bronze Shield Pikes, 4 Bronze Shield Pikes. Now they can bring the Chariot, of course, and the Chariot can do a lot of damage to enemy infantry, but it's very risky because the Chariot is 1 jav throw away from being taken off the field. Eastern Slingers in the back here and the Pontic Royal Cav. So the Pikes protect the front of Pontus quite nicely from being charged, which is very dangerous for Pontus, a lot of fragile units. So the Pikes will be able to hold, and the Naked Swords will be able to charge in and support the Pikes very well, get some nice killing done, and that combination of Mercenary Naked Swords with their high charge and bonus together with Bronze Shield Pikes can be devastating against enemy infantry. And going up against Arverni, you're going to have to kill a lot of infantry, but this particular Arverni army is a bit of an odd one. It has a lot of heavy horse. And it looks like those heavy horse really want to get to grips with their Pontic adversaries. They are taking some fire. And here come the Noble Bloods. The Noble Bloods being the superior unit. But the thing is, they over-penetrate here, and now the Celtic Warriors are able to get into the Noble Blood. Still, the Heavy Horse takes the worst of that engagement. Mercenary Naked Swords getting in. They're not that effective fighting against cavalry. The thing is, though, they can do a lot of damage with their charge bonus. It's just after their charge bonus they don't do too well. The Celtic Warriors engaging Bronze Shields head on. The Bronze Shields didn't manage to drop their pikes in time, but now the pikes are down and the Celtic Warriors are dying quickly. But look at the Bronze Shields. The Bronze Shields getting the attacked in the rear penalty and going in a fairly dense formation here is Arverni. Now the pikes are holding, winning decisively there, but the Chosen Swords are coming in from the flanks. I don't know what the Heavy Horse is trying to do here. So Vercingetorix is activating Relentless, increasing the attack values of his units. Smart move here, using the Mercenary Scythian Horse to chase down the Celtic Slingers. And you can see the Heavy Horse are a nice unit, but they are much better against enemy infantry than they are against enemy cavalry. So, in my opinion, the rules of engagement have been broken here for a barbarian faction versus Pontus. You want the Levy Freemen to join cav fights and be able to deal with enemy cavalry with precursors and their spears, and you want to use the Heavy Horse against enemy infantry for the most part. Not set in stone, But the heavy horse, if the heavy horse gets a charge in against enemy mainline infantry, and then you follow up with your hard charge barbarian infantry, you can do a lot of damage to them, get them off the field quickly, and really hammer home the advantage that you have in infantry. Because going up against a faction like Pontus, it's often going to be the case that the highest performing units for Pontus are going to be cavalry units. Noble Bloods now fighting Chosen Spears, and there we have it. The Chosen Spears are getting the cavalry off the field. Using Unity of the Tribes to increase the morale of these units, keeping the Celtic Warriors in the fight for a bit longer. The Celtic Warriors doing well here against the relatively well against the Mercenary Naked Swords. I know I've said it before, but it just makes no sense that their sword does less damage, but has 40 damage potential against infantry, but only 25 versus everything else. Never liked that way of setting up bonuses for the units in Rome 2. But here the Spear Nobles are about to bite the dust here. The Chosen Spears run in to support, but the general is just flat out dead now for Arverni. So Mercenary Celtic Warriors here for Pontus. These two units are very nice for Pontus, the Mercenary Celtic Warriors and the Mercenary Naked Swords. So yeah, the Trojan Spears getting attacked from multiple angles. The Celtic Warriors here getting charged down. We still have a minute to go in this battle, which is surprising. There is, yeah, the Chosen Spears are still holding out here. Over here we have the another unit of Chosen Spears holding up. They haven't been able to do too much in this battle. Chosen Swords, a lot of kills there. Pulling out this unit is probably going to mean that they're going to run off the field if they don't get any killing done pretty soon. The Chosen Spears throw their precursors. Now we have mass wavering going on. The balance of power does not look good for Arverni here. And a quite convincing victory there for Pontus. It showed up as close there, but I would not call that a close victory. That was fairly decisive. 1300 kills versus 795. And Pontus even deployed more men here. Now, some of the Pontic cavalry does well. These guys are fighting cav and spears, so they don't do too well, but they certainly do better than the heavy horse. And the mercenary Scythian horse do a good job. The pikes, their main role, it isn't in killing power, it is in holding off the advance of the enemy, allowing Pontus to hammer home their cavalry advantage. The mercenary naked swords, not too impressive, but they were fighting cavalry and in mixed engagements for the most part, and that's not where they excel. So Iraklis takes it with a fairly good Pontic army. A very non-standard Arverni setup here. I think I see what ChaataiKhan is going for, trying to counter the mobility and cavalry of Pontus, but you still, if you start messing with the formula of the barbarian armies, with the multiple lines and the Celtic warriors supporting the mid-tier melee units and such, then things are going to be really difficult for you. And although one of these chosen swords did a really good job, I think for mid to elite spears, that's just too much. Strength and honor.